So am I audible and visible? Please do let me know in the comment section that I am audible and visible. Yes, okay. So we'll start our mock number 4. In mock number 3, we have already done till question number 50. In this now, today we'll be doing from question number 51. So without any delay, let's get started. So hey all the future assistant professors, welcome back to English by Pooja Singh. Today we are going to complete our mock number 4, and we'll also have our UGC NET Literary Theory Marathon at 8 p.m. Okay, so we'll try to finish this in 1 hour, and then we'll be completing our UGC NET Literary Revision in marathon 1 hour. Okay, so let's get started. Assertion: literary meaning is not inherent in the text. Reason is that meaning emerges through interpretive frameworks. Now what does that says? Question number 51. Both A and R true and R explains A. Both true but R does not explains A. Now tell me the answer. The correct answer for this is A. Okay, why? Because literary meaning is not inherent in the text. It always emerges through the interpretive frameworks. Okay, now moving forward to question number 52. Which concepts explain how ideology recruits individuals as subjects? Which concept explains how ideology recruits individuals as subjects? Dialogism, interpolation, difference, heteroglossia. Answer. For 52 it is interpolation. Okay, now question number 53. Structuralism treats literature as a part of a science system. What? Structuralism treats literature as a part of a science system. And reason, it studies relation between the elements rather than the isolated units. So what does that means? Structuralism treats literature as a part of a science system. It studies relation between elements rather than isolated units. Question number 53. For answer is A. Moving forward to question number 54. If you are not replying, I won't wait for that. I'll do it. If you are taking it as a mock test, you should reply. Otherwise, you can pause it and you can answer it. Okay. Which theorist linked realism with the rise of the bourgeoisie? George Lucas, Louis Althusser, Raymond Williams, or Frederick Jameson? And these all have been appeared in UGC NET again and again. So this is very important. Question number 54. It is George Lucas. Question number 55. Always historicize is associated with what? Stephen Greenblatt, Frederick Jameson, Terry Eagleton, or Hayden White? Question number 55. Question number 55. It is what? Question number 55. It is the Frederick Jameson. Question number 56. Post-colonial criticism interrogates cultural representation. Representation was central to imperial domination, and this is true. Yes. Question number 56. Both A and R true, and R explains A. Question number 57. Which term refers to the blending of literary genres in postmodernism? Again, very important for your examination. Pastiche, allegory, symbolism, mimesis. Pastiche, allegory, symbolism, mimesis. It is pastiche, and that means copying and pasting. Okay, the word pastiche comes from pasting, blending two things, the idea and everything. Question number 58. The author function was proposed by, this is the easiest question I can ask, this is Foucault. Question number 59. Feminist criticism challenges neutral language. So language reflects gendered power relation. What does it saying? Feminist criticism challenges neutral language, and language reflects gendered power relation. What does it means? It's saying, the answer is A. It's saying that when a feminist criticism challenges a neutral language, it is talking about the gendered power relation. When I'm talking about male and female, I'm talking about the equality. I'm talking about the same thing. And why nobody is answering, I don't know. It is a mock test, and if you are not going to answer, how will you know that it is correct or it is wrong? 8 students are watching it. Why you are not answering? You should take participate, no? I don't know what is happening. Question number 60. Which approach focuses on gaps, silences in historical narratives? Which approach focuses on gaps and silences in the historical narratives? Formalism, subaltern studies, new criticism, and the stylistics. They are talking about the subaltern studies. Moving forward to question number 61. Floating signifier is associated with what? Saussure, Lévi-Strauss, Lecaillou, and Morphy. If you are not giving the answers in the mock test live, then I am not going to conduct the mock tests now. This will be the last mock test. I will be recording the video and then I'll be uploading. That will be great. Okay. And that is, I think, time savior for me. It is Laclau and Moff. Don't pay attention. You will understand in the examination what to say. Canon formation is a political process. Institutional power influences literary value. Canon formation is a political process and institutional power influences the literary value. The answer for 62 is A. Question number 63. Which concept links pleasure and textual plurality? Which concept links pleasure and textual plurality? Writerly text, readerly text, jouissance, and the literariness. And all these have been asked in the UGC NET PYQ. 63 is the jouissance. That's talk about the pleasure and that. Question number 64. Which theorist connects capitalism with the postmodern culture? Which theorist connects capitalism with postmodern culture? Baudrillard, Lyotard, Jameson, Eagleton. Question number 64. Which theorist connects capitalism with postmodern culture? Question number 64. It is, the answer is Jameson, Frederick Jameson. 65. Eco-criticism questions anthropocentrism. It critiques human domination over nature. So what it is talking about, eco-criticism means you are questioning the very basic anthropology, it is related with the humans, and it critiques human domination over nature, how we are dominating over nature. We are just cutting down the tree, deforestation, buildings and skyscrapers. So that is the thing. So yeah, it is correct. Question number 65, both the statements are correct. Question number 66, which concepts explains how norms are repeatedly enacted? How norms are repeatedly enacted? Dialogism, performativity, difference, or interpellation? Question number 66. Which concept explains how norms are repeatedly enacted? That is dialogism, performativity, difference, or interpellation? It is performity. Question number 67. Cultural poetics is another name for what? Cultural materialism, new historicism, Marxist criticism, or the reception theory? Cultural poetics is another name for cultural materialism, new historicism, Marxist criticism, or the reception theory? It is new historicism. I think nobody is going to answer. Okay, I am doing it for myself. Okay, don't answer. Assertion A. Deconstruction destabilizes hierarchical binaries. And what does it do? It exposes the internal contradiction in the text. 68. Yes, it corrects, because when we talk about the deconstruction, it is talking about the destabilizing. It's saying there is no center. There is no center that we are talking about. Question number 69. Which concept links surveillance and the modern power? Panoptism, hegemony, ideology, and the difference. When we are talking about the surveillance, it is about the panoptism. Question number 70. Which theorist emphasized culture as a whole way of life? Arnold, Williams, Lewis, or Richards? Which theorist emphasized culture as a whole way of life? Arnold, Williams, Lewis, or Richards? It is Williams. Question number 71. Assertion. Reader response theory rejects fixed interpretation. Obviously, when we are as a reader response theory rejects fixed interpretation, that is true. Different readers produce different meanings. Correctly, it is 100% correct. Okay. Now, question number 72. Which approach studies literature alongside social practices? New criticism, cultural materialism, formalism, or stylistic? It is cultural materialism. Question number 73. Narrativization of history is discussed by Hayden White, Greenblatt, Foucault, or Lucas? It is Hayden White. Question number 74. Assertion. Theory questions literary universals. Concepts of value are historically constructed. Theory questions are what? They are literary universals, and the concepts of value are historically constructed. Both the statements are true. Question number 75. Which term refers to imitations without satire in the postmodernism? Which term refers to imitation without satire in postmodernism? Parody, pastiche, allegory, or irony? Question number 75. It is again pastiche. Question number 76. Which concepts links gender with the language use? Gender with the language use. Feminist stylistics, formalism, structuralism, or the new criticism? It is feminist stylistics. Question number 77. Knowledge and power are inseparable. Discourse produces regimes of truth. Both the statements are correct. Which theory critiques human exceptionalism? Which theory critiques human exceptionalism? Marxism, posthumanism, structuralism, or formalism? Question number 78. It is posthumanism. Question number 79. Double colonization refers to. Double colonization refers to economic exploitation, gender plus colonial oppression, linguistic hybridity, or the cultural assimilation. It is gender plus colonial oppression. What does that double colonization? Suppose if there is a Muslim woman and she belongs to black community. Okay. So what does double colonization means? The very first thing that she is a Muslim woman and then she belongs from a black community or Dalit community or any lower caste community. So that becomes a double colonization. She will be facing a lot of problems for being gender, and then colonial oppression is the thing that you all know. Question number 80. Literature participates in the ideological production. Text naturalize dominant beliefs. Literature participates in ideological production and text dominate beliefs. So it is both A and R true. Question number 81. Which concepts explains the instability of meaning? Which concept explains the instability of meaning? Mimesis, deference, catharsis, or the defamiliarization? Question number 81. It is the instability of meaning, that it is indifference. Question number 82. History is a text, is a claim associated with positivism, new historicism, postmodernism, formalism, or the structuralism? Question number 82. It is the new historicism and the postmodernism. Forming to 83. Question number 83. Literary theory is a self-reflexive. What? Literary theory is a self-reflexive. It examines its own assumption. What does that mean? It means that yes, literary theory is that when it talks, it self-reflects, but when it examines its own assumption. Whatever they will be giving all the statements and they are saying that yeah, it is true or it is false. So question number 83, both A and R true, and R explains. Now, which approach foregrounds the class ideology? Which approach foregrounds the class ideology? It is Marxism. Whenever you talk about class, you talk about society, you talk about demands, you talk about supply, you talk about base, you talk about superstructure. These all things are comes from Marxism. Then metafiction primarily draws attention to what? Plot, realism, fictionality of narrative, historical accuracy, or the moral instruction. What does it belongs to? Question number 85. Metafiction, it will always be fictionality of the narrative. Okay. Moving forward to question number 86. The canon was historically contingent and the literary value changes over time. Question number 86. It is both the statements are true. Question number 87. Which concepts connects ideology and unconsciousness? Which concept connects ideology and unconsciousness? Hegemony, ideological interpellation, dialogism, or the carnivalesque? It is the ideological interpellation. Question number 88. Which theory critiques Enlightenment rationality most directly? Structuralism, postmodernism, formalism, or the new criticism? Question number 88. It is postmodernism. Question number 89. theory expands the scope of English studies. कोई आंसर इसलिए नहीं कर रहा है बिकॉज किसी को इंटरेस्ट नहीं है आंसर देने में, सबको बस वीडियो देखने में इंटरेस्ट है. दे आर जस्ट दे डोंट वांट टू बी wrong in front of all the 7 students, those who are watching it. They are keeping their mistakes with themselves. They are not participating, they are not active listener, they are the passive listeners. They are just doing it, they are just watching it, they are just understanding it, but they are not giving the answer कि गलत हो जाएगा, फिर मैम के सामने गलत हो गए हम, या फिर whatsoever reason. What I feel is I am doing it for myself because I like to teach, so I am doing it. और बहुत लोग रिकॉर्डिंग सेशंस भी देखते हैं, सो आई एम डूइंग इट फॉर देम. दोज हू वांट्स टू आंसर दे आर वेलकम, दोज हू डोंट वांट टू आंसर I don't know what reason you have to give. It incorporates philosophy and social theory. So what does that mean? Theory, and these are the type that the examination, in your examination, you will not get one-liners. Okay, you are going to get these types of assertion, reason. That is why I'm, incorporating so many questions like that. But as you wish, I cannot force anyone, na? Question number 89. It is A. Question number 90. Which concept is central to gender studies? Essentialism, performity, logocentrism, or mimesis? Which concept is central to gender studies? It is performativity. World literature debates are associated with, and these one-liners will come in the match of the following, or like that. You have to, there will be 4 statements and you have to match. World literature or the pair answers. Pair answers. Which pair is correct? Like that. World literature debates are associated with Goethe and Damrosch. Question number 92. Translation involves power relation and languages exist within hierarchies. Translation involves power relation and languages exist within hierarchies. Both A and R true, for R explains A, and both true are. So 92, it is both are true. Question number 93. Which approach focuses on the media and the popular texts? Formalism, cultural studies, new criticism, stylist. And why I'm referring these again and again? Because these are very important from the literary theory concept, and you should not leave all these things. Okay. Question number 93. It is from the cultural studies. They focus on the text and like that. Question 94. Signifying practices is linked with Althusser, Kristeva, Fayard, and Lucas. Signifying practices is linked with Althusser, Kristeva, Fayard, Lucas. It is Kristeva. Question number 95. Texts are socially produced. Literature emerges from the historical contexts. Texts are socially produced and literature emerges from the historical context. Both A and R true, and R explains A. Question number 96. Which term refers to destabilizing familiar perception? Which term refers to destabilizing familiar perception? Catharsis, defamiliarization, mimesis, diegesis. It is defamiliarization. Very easy one. Question 97. Which theory studies reception over time? Reader response, reception theory, stylistics, formalism. Very easy, reception theory. Question number 98. Literary theory resists final meaning. Meaning is contingent and provisional. Literary theory resists meaning. Meaning is contingent and provisional. Both A and R true, and R explains A. It is both A and R true. Question number 99. Which concept explains cultural dominance without force? Which concept explains cultural dominance without force, and why? Because why I'm giving a lot of focus on this, because in June 2025 a lot of questions were related to culture, anarchy, and how these are being talked about it. Okay, it is called hegemony. Okay, last question of the series. English studies today is interdisciplinary. It engages with politics, culture, and theory. Yeah, English is just not concerned with the novels and the books, but it engages with the politics, it talks about the culture, it talks about theory. And yes, English is the language of business today in the worldwide. So yeah, both the statements are correct. Now you can कल नहीं था ये क्वेश्चन, परसों भी था. You can get your score out of 50 and write it down. Okay, and if you have any doubt, if you have any problem, you can write your doubts in the comment section and I will try to reply them all. And yes, if you found this video helpful, do not forget to like, share with your friends, and do subscribe for more such UGC NET content. Till then, keep learning, keep shining. Bye bye, and do let me know your scores. Okay.